Today we're talking about overcoming major life challenges and how your mindset is so important to, get your life back. And Debbie's going to share a little bit about her story and the work that she does with beautiful women to help them to reinvent themselves after major life challenges. Hi and welcome to the Visibility Show. I'm Melissa Groom and my special guest today is Debbie Cassagrande. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you to the work that you do today.
Well, I suppose it started a long time ago. So, in childhood you have maybe challenges. Some people's childhood is amazing, but some people's is different. So I think I very much started as a child internalizing, trying to work out how things could be better. And then with maybe some loss in the family, people passing away from cancers or, that sort of stuff. Then at the age of 18, someone like my stepfather passing from a drowning. And stuff happens. Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to see things differently and feel better. So at the age of 28, married, 2 kids, sort of separated, I got chronic fatigue. So that's when I really started on a journey of looking at the mindset to see what was going on, because I didn't think I had chronic fatigue from being sick. I believed it was not a mental problem, but we perceive things a certain way, and it was, you can be challenged by things. Some people can let things go. Some people just don't even, they just keep going. But for me, it's like I started on a journey of learning. So read books. There was Louise Hay's books, which is all the mind, body. Deepak Chopra, I read a lot of his stuff. Maxwell Maltz, which is psycho-cybernetics. Back at that stage, I have no idea how I read that, because it's quite detailed and heavy and full on. But I must have got bits and pieces out of it. So I've been in that space for a long time. Mm. Then at the age of 40, when I was separated from my husband and my kids stayed with their dad, that's like, your whole world's turned upside down, like extremely challenging, I suppose. Prior to then, my auntie was murdered. So there's, you could be in a dark space from life. Mm. So I really wanted to, at the age of 40, I really wanted to find tools and techniques that could help me get through anything, no matter what. Yeah. Because we can stay stuck in our past. We can stay stuck in our sadness, our anger, our bitterness, our whatever it might be, which then can put us depressed or just not coping. So I really set out on that journey with a new business alone to work through things. So I came across some courses, I immersed myself in them and really worked through every single challenge that came up, because every day, every other day or every week we might have an emotion come up that we want to work through. So that's why from life circumstances, that's why I wanted to be able to get through challenges quickly, efficiently, and at the age of 40, recreate my life, change everything that was going on, not be in that where do I go, what do I do, no goals, just getting by.
Just surviving.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people are in that just survival mode, aren't they? And
yeah, because we don't know. It's not until you maybe have some people can just thrive and they're great at it. And I believe maybe that's, some people have the ability to just do that. Other people, you don't know how to make changes. What do you do? Where do you go? Who helps you?
Yeah, and I think too that they say that we're all here for different experiences and to feel different emotions, and whether that's grief or all the different challenges that we go through. Like you say, some people, it doesn't affect them. Well, it's not their journey in this lifetime to feel that emotion, maybe.
Correct. And I have a deeper understanding now in the last year. So I done a lot of mindset, which is all about this lifetime stuff, like finding the blessings in everything, or seeing how, it served us, and if that didn't happen, what would we not have? What would we not be driven to do?
Yes.
But in the last year, I've taken it another step further in finding another tool and technique, which is incorporating the spiritual component of it. Because what I realized was, when working with some clients, we work through the mindset and their challenge didn't relate to this lifetime. So this other healing modality that I incorporate, which is still asking a bunch of questions, but it's really tapping into the spiritual side of things, is we've ended up going back past lives, which it's another level again. So the people that may not be affected in this lifetime, they've worked through it in every other lifetime. And so for some people, this might be hippy-dippy stuff, but I generally work through with women or females, but I've also taken men through processes where they're not into the spiritual stuff, but we went to wherever we needed to go. We healed whatever we needed to do to then look at that problem not affecting him anymore.
Yes, because it can cause so many
Inhibit
things.
your life.
As you said, you had chronic fatigue, and Louise Hay does say that our emotions can cause disease and illness in our bodies.
Definitely. Well, with that, what happens is, so I studied a lot of Dr. John Demartini work as well, and he's very much human behaviour, personal development, human growth, and all that sort of stuff. And so what can happen is every perception, which might bring rise to a feeling or emotion, sets off a chemical reaction within the body. So that's why it has the ability to create, when you look at things on a deeper level, that's why it has the ability to create a illness, dis-ease, discomfort, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm very emotional and very sensitive, and I think I don't want to change that about me, because that's who I am. So at what point, when we have things that like when life throws challenging things at us, at what point does it create illness, or how can we have all of these things that go on in our life and not create illness? I think that's probably where I'm coming from.
So it's always finding the balance. So it's not right to not have feelings and emotions, because they can be the things that drive us. But it's when we stay in an imbalanced state. If you think of a pendulum swinging, and so happy, sad, they're sort of pretty balanced emotions. It's just swinging a little way. But when you get to a point of highly ecstatic and needing to be excited all the time, it's not possible to have one side without the other. So if we're going one way too far, it will automatically bring the opposite. 100%. It cannot not bring the opposite. So if you're addicted to pleasure, you're gonna get pain.
Oh dear.
So if we don't live in a one-sided world, we know that there's up, down, hot, cold, in, out. We know that. We know the sun rises. We know the moon rises. Like there's moon, there's winter, there's summer. We know that. Why can we not know, or why are we not taught that with every feeling one way to a degree, there has to be the opposite to the other degree? So at what point do we want to potentially want to have a look at? It's when you're done. When you get to a point of, I had enough, I want life to be different. I want to create changes. You don't need to wait till you're done, but a lot of people do. Because if you stay with the perception of everything has to be one way, you will bring in the other. That's creating an imbalance within the mind and the body. That's going to set off a chemical reaction. That's going to trigger something. That's going to create something that you do not within your body. So cancer people can be black and white thinkers. It has to be all one way or all the other. It's like it's lopsided. Any disease, whether it be a cold or a flu or a cancer or arthritis, it's feedback for your body. It's just a feedback mechanism to you to say, something's going on, let's look at it. We can ignore it.
We can make change.
We can make change, yes, 100%.
So what sort of tools do you have you used in your life to get through your major challenges?
Well, up till I was maybe 44. So I set some massive goals when I was 40, and we can talk about them in a minute if you would like. But which one was to really to be able to get through anything no matter what. So around the age of 44, around that age, I came in contact with the Dr. John DeMartini work, which is very much 100% about seeing the other side of everything. So we have a perception that something one way, well, I help my clients see the other. Like if you, let's talk about current situation, which the whole world's come to a massive halt or a change or disruption. So if I have, and I've had clients sitting with me in the last couple of weeks, it's like, what's the benefit of this to them? So with any challenge, if you get a disease, what's the benefit of it? They've connected back with family, they've started eating healthy, they look at their actions, their thoughts, their emotions, they want to create that change within. So there's never, nothing's ever needs to be a problem forever. So that's one thing, is looking at the other side of it, looking at the benefit of it. With grief, because grief can be quite debilitating, we've had so many people pass or transition that have been in our family. We get to a point of going, oh my God, another funeral sort of thing. Whereas, I have friends that have they've never been to a funeral, they've never lost a loved one. So with grief, it can be, we're not missing the body as such. We're missing the things that person did or didn't do. That person might have supported us. That person might have been that mother figure that was the nurturer. That person might have been the light-hearted one that brought joy to the party type, that sort of thing. So can you see we're not missing really the physical body? We're missing all the traits that person did. So then I would take my clients through a process and go, okay, who to the exact same degree does that? Because traits, when we look at traits within the universe, traits don't just dissolve and go to the ground like with the body. They just transfer. So someone, you would have talked to someone where someone's passed over and they go, oh, you're just like grandpa. Well, that's actually right. But we just don't know how to look to the same degree that person, whether that person or a few people add up to the same that we perceive is missing in the person that's passed. So I just help people, find out exactly where those traits, those little behaviours, where they are now, so that then you can still love the person that's passed. It's not about not loving that person, but it's allowing yourself to go, oh my God, it's there. It's not like we're not missing anything. It's still there, just in another form.
Interesting concept.
It is very interesting, but it's more interesting when you go through the process, because so many people have lost someone that you don't need to stay in grief. You can still love the person that's passed. You can still be sad that they're gone, but why not enjoy it and see it in somebody else and love it in that new form? And there's more to that process, but that's part of it. But we can I can get a client to a point where they're totally grateful that life's happened.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, every day that we have is a blessing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got to look at the blessing that is here, not what we don't have or what's missing, or what we really want,
Yeah, because that would keep us stuck in the past. It's not allowing us to embrace and love and be grateful for the present and for the future.
Yeah.
How can you create what you want to create if you're stuck in potentially challenges from the past that are in the past? They're in the past for a reason.
Yeah.
So we want to dissolve any attachment to things that have been painful in the past. I think it's definitely important to acknowledge and to go through the feelings. Like, I don't think it's, we need to go through that. It's part of our, connecting with people. If I was walking around stone cold, centered, or balanced all the time, well, you're not relatable, you're not connecting with people, you're not living life. This human existence is all about experience. Every extreme there possibly is, but then keeping a balance as well when we have the ability to.
So let me ask you, what is it that really breaks your heart? Like, why do you do the work that you do?
Good question. And I love this question, but I also hate this question because it's like it does touch maybe not a pain point, but that emotional chord. It's because I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to lose people. I know what it's like to, having my kids not live with me, which is all a mental struggle, a mental. It can be debilitating, hard, challenging. So I know what it's like to go through I could say shitstorm, but you don't want, I also know what it's like to be thriving, to hit some massive goals once I got some focus, and to not be stuck in that. And I love it when I have the ability to take a client from struggle street to just getting by and having little tools and techniques that they can draw on at a time when things don't feel right. So I love that. That's my biggest blessing.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that I would not like to be taken away from me, is my drive to learn new tools and techniques, and then in turn to be helping a client to get through their challenges.
Yeah.
Which all relates to mindset.
Yeah, definitely. And what's the one tool that you use on a daily basis to keep yourself centered and balanced?
I don't have one tool. Oh, gee. The one tool's hard because it depends. Every day is different. So it may be journaling, doing a brain dump. That might be what I need to do. Sometimes it's just getting it out. It may be if I'm out and about and I'm struggling, I might have a mantra. So I have a mantra that I say is pretty corny, but it completely flips my mindset immediately, and that's I manifest money, magic and miracles in every moment. That makes me feel good. So it's definitely creating a shift. So it can be just one little thing that creates that shift. I might have a little saying in my bathroom, and once I see that, it changes. So I get up and do yoga now every morning, or at least 5 mornings a week for half an hour. It's just doing a little walk. My feet in the sand makes me feel so good. So it's finding those little things that maybe cost nothing but make you feel amazing. Yeah,
definitely. And so tell me about the work that you do with your clients and what you're offering today.
So I have a 90-day program. We will look at whatever challenge is, and we'll get to a point of we'll stick with that challenge. Generally, I can shift so much stuff, mindset-wise, but also energetic-wise within an hour.
How do you move people's energy?
So I learned a tool technique called theta healing. So theta healing, I'm asking a bunch of questions, and we get to the root core, the base limiting belief. So it might be, I'm not good enough. It might be I'm not worthy. It might be other people are more worthy than me. So we'll go back to find exactly where that came from. We'll do some healing around that. And you touching hands? No?
Yeah, that's right.
So what I would do is I would do an energetic process of clearing that. So would you potentially have one limiting belief that you might know of or not know of?
No. Yes.
Yep, what might it be? We're showing our vulnerable side, but I think this is important because it doesn't matter. What I've realized is it doesn't matter where we are in life, how much we've learnt, how many tools and techniques we have in our tool belt. We all have stuff. Every single person's human. We all have stuff. Yeah. So you may be the most successful person on the earth, but that person still has stuff.
Yes. Self-limiting belief of being able to achieve a 7-figure business.
Okay, so it might purely just break down to I'm not worthy, and that other people are more worthy than me. So what I would do with Melissa, if Melissa was my client, we'd sit and we'd go, okay, where's it come from? We'd identify where it came from. And it might be potentially Melissa, and this is not true, but hypothetically, Melissa's one of 7, and she saw every other child, brother and sister, get exactly what she wanted. And this one particular day, you wanted a packet of biscuits down the street. Everybody else got what they wanted every other day, but because you asked, this is not the day for Melissa. Melissa believes that she's not good enough, but everybody else can have what she wants. So we would go to that point, and we would find out what the lessons were. What were the lessons? What are the blessings? So we'd find that, and then we'd do some healing. So what the energetic process is that we're sending that belief to the light, like the creator, whatever my client wants to call it, because everybody's different. And then we would download the exact opposite that Melissa believes to be true to be the opposite, because I might say something, it's not my, it's like it's you, it's like everything has to be about the client. So if we were to send to the light, so creator, we send to the light that Melissa is not worthy of having everything she wants, do a bit of a process around that, and then we would ask for the creator to download what might be the opposite.
Like poverty?
The opposite of not having what you want, not be that you're worthy, or
that I am I am able to achieve a 7-figure business.
Yep, and you're worthy of complete abundance.
Yes.
That's right for you.
Yes.
Okay, so then we would download. So I'm doing, if you've heard of Reiki or like a DLF therapy or Rahani, like there's so many different healing modalities, which is all energy. So because I'm attuned, like I do it all the time, I have the ability to release what we don't want, and I'm imagining it and seeing it within your body going. Then I'm imagining and seeing the opposite coming, and it's coming from a pure source. And I always say in my mind, like a bit of a prayer, for the highest and best and for the good of all concerned, because it's got to be right.
Yes, that's
like
right.
It can't be a manipulative thing. It can't be for you to be selfish or anything. Like it's got to be pure and right.
Yes.
So then I would download creator's definition, understanding and perspective of pure abundance for Melissa, and that she's completely worthy to have everything her heart's desires and whatever it is that Melissa, my client wants. So I'm seeing it fill your body, and some people may believe that this is hippy-dippy or how can it work, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. The right client will always be sitting in front of me, and it'll only be the client that I have the ability to help, because everybody else has the ability to see everybody else. Look. So we would download that. Sometimes the client might feel something, sometimes they may not. And I just keep doing that in my mind till I feel it's complete. Let me say thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. But what I would do in the beginning is test. So we'll do a muscle test where I'm testing Melissa's subconscious to see that you have that belief. And then once we do the opposite, I'm testing that we have, that we've changed it. So the muscle testing is tapping into the subconscious mind to ensure that it's...
I love that. Yeah, because we can do positive affirmations and all that, and that's good. It's surface level stuff. The subconscious mind is actually what creates our reality. Is that right?
Definitely. So, oh my God, I could talk all day about mindset because I absolutely love it. Mindset's not just positive affirmations, as seeing a positive affirmation and saying it all the time, yes, definitely helps to a degree. And some people that works for them and that's all they need. But what can happen is consciously we know what we know. So consciously, you're worthy of having this space and being the visibility amazing mentor, but subconsciously we don't know what's going on. So say you had that belief that I'm not worthy of like a 10-figure income, whatever it might be. The subconscious actually knows the other side. So we really want to tap into that subconscious to see what's going on and to change it. The theta healing changes it on the subconscious level because it's all energy. We know that if we put out energy that the world hates me or I'm not good enough, we're going to draw people's situations, circumstances to make that right, to mirror what we're putting out. So therefore, if we have the ability, if we think something or have a belief of one thing, we have the ability to change it energetically, so we're putting out things differently. So why the theta healing and why that's come into play is that I really want to change things on that deep subconscious energetic level so that it's done. Done.
So can you do the theta healing on yourself or you need someone to do it on you?
No, I do it on myself all the time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because it's like prayer. It's like imagining.
Yeah. So how often would you have to do it?
Every time something comes up.
Okay.
So say we're talking the beginning of Corona. Currently I own a small resort. So we've had retreats there, we have accommodation, we have like bed and breakfast, booking.com, that sort of thing. So March I had 5 guests. Most guests pulled out and cancelled. So of course, financially, it's like, oh my God, I'm not worthy. Oh my God, when's things ever going to change? Oh my God, I'm getting nowhere. That was March. April was like, nothing. So how do I feel? So that brought up, I was abandoned financially. I'm never going to make it. Outside circumstances are in control of my finance. Like so many things can come up. But what that did was took me back to when I separated when I was 40 from my ex, and I started a medical centre. So I was financially like I had nothing. I was in debt. I was living off. I made sure I paid my bills first, but I was living off $30 a week for food and stuff. So it wasn't much. It was just me. My kids would stay with their dad. So it was like, okay, I survived and I got through. But the feelings and the emotions that come up, then I went, okay, what's it taking me back to? Because everything relates to something. Like we don't just feelings and emotions and they don't just fall out of the sky. So I went, okay, what's it relate back to? So it went back to, okay, when I was 40, had no money, I felt the same. So for me, it was like I knew I needed to do some more healing around that. Okay, how did that serve me? Where did that lead me? What was the benefit of that happening? It made me say to myself or take on a new belief that I wanted to really be financially independent. I wanted to make my own money. I wanted to, so it made me strive to make things different and make lots of money. So I did the theta healing on it. You know, I test myself. I'm worthy of having money. No. I'm worthy of being financially secure. No. You know, so there's all these things that I can muscle test myself. So then we send all that off, and then I download the opposite. I'm worthy. I'm good. I'm capable. You know, because sometimes we think we're not capable. So we did. I can do all this on myself. It's just energy. You know, we're just shifting energy.
That's amazing. So many people need this information right now, because so many people would have gone through all of those same feelings and emotions.
Absolutely.
And please reach out to Debbie if you can relate to any of that, because you know we are in uncertain times, but we are still in control of our own circumstances, our own finances, because we can always pivot. We can always look at what skills have we got, or what can we do to upskill to be able to thrive in this current, you know, climate.
100%. However, it's harder to thrive, to pivot, to get by if we're stuck in that negative energy of, you know, it just keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
Like, where do I go? What do I do? I don't, you know, it's a bit of like victim mode. However, we don't want to call ourselves victim, but it's like we're stuck in that space of, so yeah, definitely, you have the ability to create whatever, because once we dissolve all that the ill feelings, the negativity, whatever it might be, it creates space and energy for it to flow differently, for us to, you know, it clears the mind for new ideas, new energy to be put in something different.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So if you're feeling stuck right now and you want to move and shift the energy and create more positivity in your life and wellness and joy, then don't struggle. Just reach out to Debbie. Do you do your consults in person or online, or?
I can do either. Some people love in person. What I've found the benefit of doing online, or like on phone or Zoom, is that it's that time frame. There's no, you know, we just get in and it's stuck into doing what we need to do, and it's really time efficient. And also it helps to keep the focus. There's less distractions.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
But it's all energy. We can do it. I've had clients in America, clients in Singapore, so it's okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what do you want to offer our viewers today?
So I would love, if anybody has any questions or has one tiny little challenge that they might want to get an idea of how to work through that, we can get on a 30-minute connection call to see, just so that I can give some ideas on what you can then go ahead and do. Otherwise, I have a 90-day package, which is so exciting. I love it because I love seeing people be able to transform their life purely by shifting their mindset.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Visibility Show. And Debbie, you're doing amazing work in the world. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Remember to shine bright, because the world needs you.